Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this one we are doing a Plat Soldier review. If you guys are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord, and this is in the description down below. Wow, words are hard today. Or if you are just enjoying the content, liking the stuff you see, that's great too. Please do feel free to like and subscribe. That really helps me out. But for now, let's see what our Platinum Soldier can do.
Must violence always be the solution?
Hey. Hey. Hello. Hey.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, so you're set up Soldier Widow, your tank line is Ryan Zarya.
Stop the payload.
No idea if they had a sniper when you did that peek, but I'll live with it. Okay, why are you shooting at the Reinhardt rather than at these two back here? Like, I know fall-off damage is a thing, but you aren't interested in breaking their shield. You're interested in suppressing them. Your comp is not playing for shield break in general. Like, if you look at what your comp is, your comp has a Widowmaker in it. I promise that your comp is not going, our win condition is break their shield, because your Widowmaker doesn't expect to break their shield very often. They have an Ashe and a Junkrat and a BAP. They're going to break your shield way faster if you guys are playing at each other for shield break. So if the shield's all that's there, sure, shoot at the shield. But overwhelmingly, when there's other targets on your screen here, and there were, go ahead and shoot at those targets. You shoot at the shield, oh, another target opens up, flick over to it and take that shot. Oh, another target opens up, flick over and take that shot. I know that's not on your screen because you're zoomed in. Because I pulled up my Epic Pen, we zoomed out. Oh no, it is on your screen. So yeah, flick over and take that shot. The shield is fine to shoot at, but you don't go, oh, I started shooting at the shield, so I have to finish shooting at the shield. No, it's just you filling dead time. Yeah, there you go. Go over for the Ana over there. Good. Stay on the junk. You didn't have to drop for that, but that's okay. Okay, so be Soldier, take an angle. You're not going to play from behind your Rhine shield very often, Soldier. I don't hate this, but go ahead and flank over here. You have super legs as Soldier. You got to use them. You use your super legs to get over here and take an angle on them. Or you use your super legs to get over here and take an angle on them. You really don't want to play Soldier like McCree where you go, oh yeah, my Reinhardt, he matters. No, you're fast. You want to be not constantly, but taking angles is very much in your kit. Okay, that's fine. Now retake high ground. You're not allowed to lose this. You have a double pocket. There you go. Good stuff. Okay. Just leave.
My ultimate is almost ready. My ultimate is almost ready.
They're running the Widow Ashe now, so you're playing a bit more behind your shield. I can live with that. Do make sure you keep a good attention on where they are. I don't really like this. Let's look at this visor.
My ultimate is almost ready. My ultimate is almost ready.
You destroyed his barrier, then you destroyed the lamp. And you know that one bubble is out, but really, how many targets are on your screen? You have a Zarya, and the Rhine is behind there. Rhine has very easy access to cover, but is probably in trouble regardless. This Zarya, let's take a look at this Zarya. Is this Zarya in any trouble whatsoever? No, she has her personal bubble. That's what I thought. So, like, this isn't, like, a particularly great cleanup. Again, if you were a bit more on the flank, you might have options here. Wouldn't want to go here. That would be dangerous. But like if you're above, you might have more. This feels like you're visoring into a couple tanks that have defensive stuff. So maybe you'll get the Rhine with this, but I think we can get the Rhine anyways. So nothing. You got nothing with that visor. That's because you didn't set that up properly. Good. And now you leave. Fine.
My ultimate is charging.
Why? Okay. Yeah. So this sort of becomes the basic thing of if we look at this fight. We're up in this fight. We have our ult going. We have more players up than they do.
My ultimate is charging.
You don't need to push this fight. Like, you don't need to push this as a 1v1. I like going up for staggers. Don't get me wrong. That's a good thing to be doing, and I like conceptually that that's something that you'd be trying to do right now, and you've got the extra information from your Widow thing, but you can let your team push up with you. You don't need to challenge this alone. You can get healed before you can push. You can immediately drop your healing station when you push. Like, this, when you have greater numbers, take advantage of your greater numbers. Don't give the enemy a chance to 1v1 you, like you're doing here. And you never dropped your heal station there. Fortunately, your Widow got another pick, so you shouldn't get punished too bad for going down there.
I'm not a young man. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
Do you have a monkey now? Okay. Careful. Respect those sight ones a bit. Good.
Nice shot. Get clear.
Everyone, heal up.
Enemy contact.
It's fine. You can just play at this angle. You don't actually need to push the Santa. I'd have said just deal with the monkey, because you had a very good angle to just deal with the monkey from here to easily break the shield. He was never getting away from the three of you, even with that Ana pocket, but that's fine. You had to expose yourself a little more for that. Okay, so now they're back to Ashe Doomfist, so I'd like you to be positioning more around high ground. Doomfist has a lot harder time setting up on you if you're on higher ground than him. A lot.
Thank you.
And they don't have that Widow to one-shot you anymore, so they'd have to link a Discord and an Ashe headshot. Oh, they can't even do that anymore on the dispatch. So yeah, go back to your high ground.
Come here and get stabilized. We all haunt from my sights.
Do I even need to comment? With Tac Visoring a monkey? Like, you weren't going to miss those shots anyways. Okay, we got the Sigma at least. Yeah, I'll do a full review of this map. Probably. And as you can see, it looks like it's a 21-minute thing, which means it'll probably take me 30, 32 minutes, something like that. Okay. I got distracted there. Let's take a quick look. Go back here. Pumping shots into the nanoed Winston. Clear the Discord. Don't fight there. Clear the Discord. Okay, so I get the desire to run this way, but you actually wanted to run this way to close this. You still have the angle on the monkey, but you're much less threatened from these guys. You can clear the Discord, etc. Go to where you can still see something you want to do damage to. You can still see the allies that you'd need to peel for with your primary fire, but most of the enemies can't see you. That's where you want to go. You don't want to run more into the open here. I get it. There's the thought of, oh, hey, the newsstand will block for me, and that's true. But this was the better positioning over here. See how long it's taking you to clear the Discord? Yeah, you don't even clear the Discord by running that way. You'd have been able to clear that faster or be safer, plus you'd have had that Mega if you'd gone the other way.
Group up. Join me. Group up with me. Good choice. At ease.
Well, you tried. I'm pretty sure you're just feeding. Yeah. That's nice. That'll slow their roll a little at least. So do you like high ground this time?
Get over here, heal.
Nah, you shouldn't have wasted heal station there. You should have just slammed on X and demanded that you're gonna heal you. Not a super big deal, but now you're less likely to go up to high ground, you as a person, because you're thinking, oh, I don't have heal station, I'm not self-sufficient up there. So you want to do press X, get the healing from Anna, who had all the time in the world to heal you, and then go take high ground. Like, just to conceptually help explain this for you, A, high ground is great because you have an angle and it makes their head a greater percentage of what you can see, so you're more likely to hit headshots. B, you can back up, and if you back up, they can no longer see you. So you have almost full control of whether the angle is open or closed. Whereas if you're both on walls, both on corners, they can open or close the corner, you can open or close the corner. If you're on high ground and they're on the ground, you have more unilateral control. It's not perfect because they can still have corners, etc. But you have more unilateral control. It conversely makes your head hitbox smaller because they're sort of shooting up at a smaller head. Your body's a little more in the way. And finally, this, well, it does some other things. It makes it so characters like Reinhardt can't get to you. That's cool. But what we're interested in is the Doomfist. Doomfist is going to have to use abilities to get up to you. He's going to have to like uppercut. He's going to get a pathetic little slam. Doomfist is great when he can get slams from above. Doomfist is great when he can do rollouts from high ground onto low ground. If you are on high ground, he has to go from high ground to high ground. There's less of that he can do. It's harder. If you can stay above Doomfist, his effectiveness drops a fair bit. And if you can't stay above him, at least stay up at the same height as him. Long story short, get to the high ground. There you go. Oh. And you're going to leave. The health pack's right there. Health pack's right there. Okay. Fine. Unfortunate. So if you'd gone in the room, you'd have the health pack. Then if he tried to primal you in the room, you'd drop your health station, and he'd be beating you around on your health station. You'd be in a little better shape.
Group up. Group up with me.
Not super loving that health station. I didn't really see a scenario in which you stayed and were going to take that fight, but that's okay. Okay, just leave. This is a reset.
Tactical Visor ready for deployment.
So you want to back up as a group towards your spawn, because right now you're just risking getting staggered. There's more alive of them than you. You already have your ult. If you don't get a pick, it's worthless, and you're less likely to get a pick than they are. Just math. Cool, you got a pick. Doesn't conceptually change that this was wrong. Okay, now you work your way out. You don't need to be in quite such a hurry to re-peek that. You're like barely ever leaving. You're getting shot at and you're leaving for just a moment. You're getting shot at and you're leaving for just a moment. You can vary the time you're gone a bit. Because remember, this guy wants to do other things just like you want to be in the fight. So if you're not here, he's going to get antsy and look away and go do something else. And then you'll actually be able to peek for longer, or you'll be able to peek and shoot at him, the guy who was bothering you. So don't be like, oh, I have to come back right away. I have to come back right away the instant the shot is gone. You can sometimes wait the extra second to let your opening become more mature, we'll call it. Stand the doom. Good. Good tools for this, sort of. Okay, that's fine.
Get out of my way or I'll run you over. I'm here to get stabilized. My tactical visor is charging.
Oh no. Okay, you got a little greedy. The footing was unstable. All good.
I'm not a young man anymore.
60 seconds remaining.
This is good. You're taking the fights that's there rather than opening yourself up to everyone. You're circling up to the high ground. Better. Now you're going to go shoot the back line. So I could see that your ball was going in, and you could too, which means you knew there was unlikely to be anyone here. If your ball goes in like this, he's naturally knocking people out. If he comes in from the other direction, he's going to be knocking people in. Since you saw him, because you can see him as a teammate coming in from this direction, you knew that this wasn't the place you were going to have to peek. This was the place you were going to want to peek to help him out, and also because that's where the enemies were going to be.
Good choice.
Did you really need that reload?
I'm not a young man anymore.
You can't have needed that reload, right?
Good choice.
You have 19 shots left. You don't need to back up because you've already dodged the one nade that mattered. Yeah, you had half a clip. You didn't need to back up this far. You didn't need to hit this reload. It's a pretty fast reload. It's not as expensive as it is on some heroes, but you could have been in this fight and already have put, you know, a good 100, 150 damage, which could have removed the Zen, could have pressured out the Anna so she wasn't shooting up here, etc. Works out though. Again, you're a little reload obsessive there. That one was fine, but you're getting a little reload obsessive, I can tell.
30 seconds remaining.
Let's get you back out there.
That's fine, there's no one available.
My ultimate is ready.
Pressure them out.
Healing stream engaged.
Good choice.
I don't mind the long range rocket. You're not going to need it to defend yourself by any means.
Got you in my sights.
So that's just a muscle memory thing for you that you drop your heal station when you hit this, but it's fine. Someone could take a shot at you. I just don't think it's an amazing visor. I mean, when I look at what's going on here, I get you're thinking, hey, last moment.
Good choice.
You want to make sure no one touches, but let's really look at what you've got available, because I didn't like the first visor either.
remaining.
I've got you in my sights.
So there's a Transing Zen. There's a Nano Monkey in his bubble at full health that the Transing Zen is going towards. So this Monkey and this Zen are not options. So the only real options... So there's no options on your screen when you press this visor. Yeah, you expect that some people are going to push forward, but they don't have to. There's a Nano Monkey with full health and a Transing Zen coming behind him. Like, they don't have to immediately push forward into your visor here. This is not yet an overtime situation, and they have people touching the cart. This is early.
Team, heal up here. Damn it.
Yeah, and you struggle to get value as we expected. Your visors aren't doing much as a trend.
What is that melody? Biotic fields, tranquility.
Push up with it. Okay. You know where it's coming from. You saw him go right. Yep. Okay, so your team is kind of losing this, so you might want to consider retaking high ground. Yeah, they're about to be on top of you. Again, you wanted to retake high ground once it was clear your team was losing this.
Do something!
The payload is approaching its destination.
Okay, so two biggest things so far are we've got to work on your tac visors. You're just tac visoring like with the expectation that targets are going to slow up without really a serious way to set them up, without, you know, comboing it with someone that's going to push them into range or being on a hard flank on them where you're going to get it, or countering a Valk or anything like that. And you're also not like you took positioning like this, which was good, but you have a lot of times where you're not transitioning back to high ground when it makes sense to do so, like you did at the end there, like when they swapped off the Widow to the Doomfist, etc.
Ready. 1. Attackers incoming. Escort the payload.
We're just gonna like run across here shooting. Like we're just gonna run across guns blazing.
Ready for battle.
Surely that's not what I saw.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Escort the
Huzzah! Huzzah! I will fight you, tanks with barriers and bubbles. I will fight you in front of my whole team. Angles. This is good. You pick this, I have no problem. You have hard cover available to you. Your team's on a different angle than you. They've still got to think about, is someone going to come through here? This is much better. But if you wanted to get here, you always had the option of, just sprinting out here, having hard cover, and pushing up to here, and, having cover with these. Like, you didn't have to go out here and just run across. And if you were going to run across behind your tanks, run across behind the payload.
Enemy turret sighted.
Okay, do you see the turret? Good. And then you adjust your angle. Good. Good taking a space here. Good playing the angle. Yeah, on offense so far, you've been playing these angles better. Not that it was terrible on defense, but it noticeably still needs improvement.
Hey,
Okay, I can live with it. Yeah, you were a touch late to drop that heal station. You'd really taken too many hits, which meant you weren't going to stay there. Turret, turret, turret. Good.
need healing.
Okay, looks like you guys are resetting. That's fine. You're trying to cover for your widow. Are you going to be able to get out? You're going to take high ground. Fine. No. No, 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 no. Your team is back here. Is your team really in this yet? Your diva's thinking about it. She's a bit early, but your team isn't really in this yet. Now, I know it's a Widow who's going to peek, and it's a Zen who wants to peek, but your team hasn't really pulled eyeballs to them yet the way that they need to for this play that you're making to work. I don't mind that you didn't immediately get value out of it. I mind that 3 people are going to turn to deal with you, and that's going to cost their front line nothing, because your team isn't really a threat yet. Your Winston's still trying to get back. He's just leapt back, which means he's got 5 seconds on that. The earliest he can be a credible threat is 3 seconds through here, and he's probably not going to do that because there's a Reaper right here. Like, this is early. But, that's the thing. So you want to time your peaks in such a way that, hey, your peaks, especially on aggressive angles like this, are when the rest of your team is either pulling the enemy's team eyeballs to them or is in a place where they can take advantage of you pulling the enemy's eyeballs to you. And your team isn't yet really there. No, you can't continue pushing into this. Oh, you were lucky that they have plat aim. It's fine. His visor, his nano visor will not get you through, what do you call it? Trance. Slightly better visor.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Hey, group up.
That's Zen's AFK, or typing. You should take advantage of that. Anytime you see someone still like that, like, you can delete them so fast if they've got no evasive movement going on. Yeah, you'd have had that Zen 3/4 down and the rocket on the way before we started moving.
The enemy is here. Damn it. That's better.
Okay. So your team's gonna give you a window. Your team's in it, so now that's a credible threat. You could peek left now, drop your heal station, and be a credible threat from here. Exactly. You don't need to drop. Good. See how this timing worked much better than your previous timing? It's because you could see through there where your Winston was. He was clearly behind an enemy. He'd made this a real fight. He'd committed, which meant the enemies were in it too. And see, they really didn't even turn to deal with you at all. Isn't it so easy to be a DPS when your engagement timing is right, based off your tanks?
My tactical visor is charging.
No one can hide from my sight.
Activating self-destruct sequence. All systems checked out.
It's fine.
Lights out.
Hey, chat.
Everyone heal up.
I'm sorry, I can't read your name.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
I've got you in my sights.
Yeah, this is okay. You're up in this fight, and you're likely going to get more eliminations regardless in this fight, but you're only up by 1, and this will confirm you at least 2 of these 3 staggers. I can live with it. Still not a great one, but better than the first 2 we talked about. Good. Unfortunate.
Join me. Group up with me. Group up.
You should be checking exactly. As soon as you saw your Widow taking friend, you should have been holding your crosshair over that angle, knowing that there was something there.
Group up.
Sigma, present.
I've got you in my sights. This will protect us. Heal up here. Back in my day, we'd have this payload delivered already.
This could be a pretty good visor. Just saying. You don't have visor yet, but as reference for the future.
No one can hide.
And it could have been because of where the opponents were. This could be a good visor too, right here. Your Winston has them all out in the open for you. The bubble gets in the way, gives you some cover. You'll drop your peel station. This could be a fine visor.
I've got you in my sights.
Okay. A little late, and it matters. We'll go over it.
No one can hide from
Like,
my
everyone is, of course, going to go to the winds when you hit visor. I'm just showing this down to prove my point. If you pop visor now, you're going to get these 2 before they can close line of sight. These 2 are going to get away, and that's more than fine. Instead, soldiers now had a chance to drift back. Fortunately, Ash has drifted in a bit for you, and you'll never get mercy.
I've got you in my sights.
And you should immediately go for the Ash.
Everyone heal up.
Yeah. So, just a touch slow to pull it out there, but that's fine.
Move it out.
I am on fire.
Good job.
moves with certainty.
And we have extra rounds. Good. Hopefully that'll give me you hitting a good visor for me to point out how that works and really let you feel it, etc.
Hey,
Ready for battle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
Yeah, I don't love staying out here. Like, I can handle firing the rocket because you're like, hey, I want the early ult charge. It can explode and hit multiple. I don't like you staying here because you don't know if there's a widow, for example, that's immediately going to blink you for doing this, for staying. But whatever. Now you have a feel for what their comp is, and it's fine. But well, it's sort of fine. I mean, their comp does include a Hanzo. So you didn't have to go this deep on giving up your angle, and I'm kind of disappointed you did. Yes, you had to go behind cover. They were putting too much pressure on you. But is anyone on this team particularly mobile? That would be a no. That would be a no. That would be a no. These are kind of barely mobile. They barely qualify. So they can go vertical decently. But my point is, you were pretty safe back here, and that matters because you as Soldier have a pretty good ability to sustain your off angles. You get to off angles pretty quickly with sprint, and you can sustain them with the heal station. That's what your hero is built to do. So if you go, yeah, I'm going to keep shooting at you, then I'm going to unpeak, etc. When they end up here and want to fight your team, and you can just drill them in the side, that is way better than you drilling them here. Like, this is a slightly higher angle than your team, so it's better than you just being here right behind your Roadhog or something. But it'd be so much stronger if when this enemy team got to here, they had to deal with people shooting at them from here and here. So much stronger. Make that happen in the future. Your kit is specifically built to do that. That's why you have sprint to get to locations like that. That is a terrible circle. That's why you have sprint to get to locations like that, and healing station to potentially let you hold some of those locations, even if you don't have a support dedicating all of their attention to you. That's what makes Soldier different from like McCree, for example. And you understand it to some level because you do it on low ground like this. I just wish you'd hold them on high ground. Again, this cart, they wouldn't be able to dodge you around this cart or any of this nonsense if you were up here for this cleanup, and you'd be hitting way more headshots. And you could skip past the tanks and shoot at this Anna who's just standing in the open from high ground perspective. And she wouldn't be running around at 2 HP because you wouldn't be expecting heals from other people, so you'd have dropped your own heal station. But hey.
mission ain't over yet.
Don't just expect your team to win. Ooh, that's dangerous, man.
I require.
Initiating match. Ready for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Are we gonna do the slow stroll across mid again in front of our tanks?
Escort the payload.
Oh, we want to go behind the cart this time? Okay. Okay, now we're remembering to shoot at the enemies, not the shield. I like it. You hear that thing to your left? Okay, you knew it was there. That's good. And that's just a win. Okay, so good stuff. In terms of the things that I want you to work on, I really do want you to understand that Soldier's kit is specifically built for taking these off angles, specifically on high ground, both on offense and on defense. You have the ability to take those grounds, even during fights. You can transition much faster than some other heroes could, so it's often worth doing. Obviously, try to set up in those good angles before the fights when you can, but even during the fight, it can be worth it to transition. You get to sustain there, you get all sorts of benefits. It protects you from things like Doomfist better. It lets you hit more headshots. Like, seriously, high ground is amazing, and you are undervaluing it a little. You like start up there, but you give it up too easy, things like that. So please do that more. As for the tac visors, I was hoping you would hit a good one for me, but you're naturally going to start hitting better tac visors if you're at different angles from your team on high ground when it makes sense. So like here, when we were talking about on defense, for example, if you just peek out here, yeah, that's going to be a better tac visor. You do it after they've rounded the corner and commit to the fight, and then you go, yes, okay, now I'm going to tac visor, and they've got nowhere to go. That's what you want to do. You want to tac visor after they've committed to the fight and they have nowhere to go, and you want to tac visor when you're on these high ground off angles that Soldier lives and breathes and exists to be on, etc. Like I said, you're doing a good job of taking these angles on low ground, and that's nice, but expand your horizons a bit. Your horizons up in the sky. Okay, bad joke. Uh, no, he doesn't death ball only. McCree's more of a death ball type hero. Soldier can go take the angles, etc. That's why he has the sprint. And Hammer's doing a decent job of taking those angles, but I'd like him to be more attached to his high ground, be more willing to retake his high ground. Like the Widow that switched to Doomfist, that was a reason to get back off the low ground up to the high ground that he started on, etc. Exactly. Soldier gets to live on those off angles even with limited support. All that good stuff. So if you guys are liking the content, do be sure to like and subscribe. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below. And in there, you'll see my rates, be able to connect with other people, chat about Overwatch stuff, etc. And that's what I've got. Do I see anything else in chat that I need to cover here? McCree needs more support. He can stay up on high ground for a while. Yes. Yeah, more about how McCree and Soldier are not the same hero and they do different things. Exactly. I think we've covered that pretty well. Cool. Thanks, guys. Temporal out. Oh, and this, I think, is the last one of the night. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, I saw that comment. It's worth shooting shields as Soldier, but if another target shows up, you want to flick over to that target most of the time. You can shield break if there's nothing better to do. If there's another target, literally anything at all, you're going to want to shoot at it in most situations, especially if your partner DPS is Widow, because guess what? You're not breaking any shields in general with your team if your partner DPS is Widow and your off tank is Winston. Your shield break is not a thing that your team is going to get done. So you go, okay, I'll shoot it if there's nothing better, but no, you're going to shoot over it, shoot past it, and if you're up on this high ground, you can shoot past it, etc. Okay. For real now, guys. Temporal out.